Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, March 17th. We have all you need to know about a former Penn State basketball player's lawsuit against the university, as well as more on a new major coming to the College of IST.
We also have the latest information on the detention of a Columbia graduate student, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Anneke Wagner.
And I'm Emma Goldkopf. A former Penn State men's basketball guard has filed a lawsuit against the university, head coach Michael Rhodes, and other affiliated organizations. Kanye Clary alleges he faced racial discrimination, defamation, and illegal use of his NIL beginning in December of 2023. Clary's family issued complaints in January 2024, and court documents say retaliation from Rhodes increased after Clary refused to sign a contract. The basketball player was eventually suspended and then dismissed from the team in February 2024. The case has been transferred from the Eastern to the Middle District of Pennsylvania, following a motion from Penn State's legal team.
Penn State is partnering with Westinghouse Electric Company to create a new nuclear research facility at Penn State University Park. On February 28th, the school submitted a letter of intent to the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission to install an E. Vinci microreactor in the new facility. The reactor would serve as a sustainable energy source throughout research facilities and buildings on campus. Westinghouse says the reactor would provide consistent power for over 8 years without refueling.
Beginning in the fall 2025 semester, the College of Information Sciences and Technology will be offering a new undergraduate degree in artificial intelligence methods and applications. The college says this program will teach students how to utilize AI in responsible and ethical ways. The College of IST Dean says there is a new demand for trained individuals who have the technical and interpersonal skills to lead this new era of innovation. Penn State now joins other institutions like Carnegie Mellon, University of Pennsylvania, and MIT in offering a Bachelor of Science degree in AI.
The Center County Board of Commissioners approved contracts with No Inc. LLC to purchase 211 electronic poll pads to use in future elections. The technology will change how voters check in when they arrive at their polling precincts. Election workers will now type in the first 3 letters of a voter's first and last name to retrieve their voter registration. Poll pads will be distributed to roughly half of the Center County precincts for the May 16th primary election, and the remaining precincts will receive them for the November general election. It is finally going to warm up in State College. Student meteorologist Sean Romeo is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Sean?
Now, as we look forward in time, the drying trend should continue. But as we look at tomorrow, it's probably about 65, 66 degrees for our high. That will continue this sort of drier weather that we're getting into over the next few days. That will be the case as we get towards Wednesday as well. But Thursday, we actually may have some rain start to come in over the next couple days. Now, I don't know exactly when that rain will arrive. It'll probably arrive earlier in the day on Thursday. I would think towards the morning hours is when you'll start to see some rain come down. Now, as we look forward in time, that's sort of the more difficult forecast now is when that rain will start. It will then continue through the day on Thursday, more pulling out by the afternoon hours. It'll cool down behind that cold front that'll come through with that rain. And behind it, there may be a chance of a snow flurry or two. But as we look towards the weekend, things will actually improve. We may have some getting up towards the 50s and 60s, more spring-like temperatures as we go forward towards the weekend. Now back over to you, Anneke.
Thanks, Sean. Now stay tuned because after the break, Cassie Vaselis will have the latest in sports.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Cassie Vaselis with your sports update. Penn State's time in the Big Ten hockey tournament came to an end on Saturday as they took a 4-3 overtime loss against Ohio State in the semifinals. The Nittany Lions were down 1-0 at the end of the first period. Goals from Ben Schoen, J.J. Webush, and Matt DeMarsico gave the team hope, but they eventually fell short as a turnover led to the Buckeyes' overtime goal. Penn State will spend the next week scoreboard watching for its chance at an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. Penn State men's gymnastics clinched the Big Ten regular season title with a 329.050 win over 328.850 win over Nebraska on Sunday. This is the Nittany Lions' first ever Big Ten regular season title. It came down to the wire, but Matt Cormier's impromptu high bar routine helped Penn State take the victory. The blue and white will have a few weeks of rest before they head to Ann Arbor for the 2025 Big Ten Championships on April 4th and 5th. Formula One had their first Grand Prix of the season in Australia on Sunday. Through this dramatic race, Lando Norris delivered a great performance to give him the victory. Following Norris were Max Verstappen and George Russell. During the Grand Prix, there were 6 drivers who did not finish due to crashes from the rainy conditions. The next Grand Prix will take place in Shanghai, China this weekend. On March 12th, NFL free agency began, and it has been very exciting so far. Free agency will go until the end of July, but some of the most notable moves were Devontae Adams to the Rams, Justin Fields to the Jets, Josh Sweat to the Cardinals, Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, Najee Harris to the Chargers, and Geno Smith to the Raiders. There were many other moves that made headlines, and there are still plenty of star players who are free agents. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Christian Audia has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
Like us making shows out there.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you say
I know.
She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
That the natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
What if Asking Penn State? Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Christian Audio with your entertainment update. Broadway musical fans, get ready as the Dear Evan Hansen Tour makes a stop at Penn State. On March 27th, the Grammy and Tony-winning musical will be performing at Penn State's Eisenhower Auditorium. Tickets are available for purchase online by calling the Center for the Performing Arts or in person from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays at Eisenhower Auditorium. Ticket prices and more information can be found at cpa.psu.edu. Are you a big fan of comedy? Well, look no further, as Blue Brick Theater will be hosting their own improv comedy show on March 21st from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The show features 3 long-form improv sets with an intermission in between each. Tickets can be bought at happyvalleyimprov.com for $15. So what are you waiting for? Come out and enjoy an evening of entertainment, laughs, and fun. Ella Karofsky is live in the studio with more details on a recent event to raise awareness about online safety. Ella?
Thanks, Christian. Before spring break, I had the chance to attend It's On Us PSU's escape room in the hub. They had lots of games focused on learning about the dangers of online dating and some free merch. Let's take a look.
I'm here in the hub right now outside of room 110 as students are piling in to check out It's On Us PSU's student-run event. From 5 to 8, students can try their hand at the escape room and learn about the dangers of online dating. Let's go check it out.
It's On Us PSU is a student-run organization here at Penn State that works to support survivors of sexual violence and educate those who might not know much about it. On Thursday, the group held an escape room in the hub to look into the dangers of online dating. Anyone who attended the event and tried one of the stations in the escape room received a free t-shirt and a goodie bag filled with candy and other treats.
My name is Samantha Constantino, and I'm vice president of It's On Us, and I plan this event for March. A online dating safety escape room, so it's teaching about all the kinds of things you should look out for, like a fake profile. It's talking about online consent, and there's a little bit of like tricky messaging in there. And the point of this event is that if you do have to think about sending it, it probably shouldn't be sent. So it's kind of just reinforcing those details and teaching about all these new online safety tools that all these new dating apps have that most people don't even know about until they've tried it.
Some of the stations included apps like Hinge and mix and match puzzles with online dating scenarios and different phrases related to them. It's On Us PSU helps to inform people on sexual violence through education and prevention. The organization has hosted tons of events this year, like Cocoa and Consent in January, where students could visit Finley Commons and play some fun games, trivia, and even get some free hot chocolate. If you're interested in learning more or even becoming involved, check out their Instagram at It's On Us PSU and make sure to stay tuned for future events.
It's On Us PSU has hosted lots of events so far this year, all free to students. They continue to promote great ways to educate students on the dangers of online dating and violence. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Ella. Comedian Nikki Glazer was announced to host the Golden Globe Awards for the second year in a row. Glazer made history this past January as the first solo female host of the award show. In a statement Glazer made, she said, quote, "Hosting the Golden Globes this year was without a doubt the most fun I've ever had in my career, and I can't wait to do it again." The 83rd annual ceremony will be aired on CBS and can be streamed on Paramount Plus next January. More than 20 years after they starred in the hit film Freaky Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan have reprised their roles in a trailer for the upcoming film Freakier Friday. The original film starred Lohan as Anna Coleman, a girl who ends up magically swapping bodies with Curtis, who plays her mother, Tess Coleman. Now in the sequel, they have swapped bodies again, but this time with Anna's biological daughter and stepdaughter. Will they be able to swap back before it's too late? Find out when the film debuts in theaters on August 8th. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Abby Shashute will be speaking with Colin Chrissy, a student in the international reporting class. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics?
3, 2,
Fade in on 2, Mike and Q.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you say
I know.
she like continues to hold her values and everything though, and I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart,
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts
creators
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State,
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Abby Shishu, and over spring break, Penn State students participated in a wide range of study abroad programs. In Belisario, there are several classes that offer these culturally immersive experiences. Tonight, I'm joined by Colin Chrissy, a student who traveled to Kazakhstan as a part of Belisario's international reporting class. Thank you for joining us, Colin.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Abby.
And I guess to start, what kind of drew you to participate in this international reporting class to Kazakhstan?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm somebody who wants to travel everywhere. I'm a journalism major, so I thought having the opportunity to kind of immerse myself in a new culture, but also do some reporting on something that I think is important, was important to me. So to be able to combine those two experiences was something that I thought was truly unique, and I thought something that only a school like Penn State could really provide.
No, that's awesome. So before this, were you ever interested in international reporting? Did this spark an interest maybe?
I mean, I definitely was interested in international reporting. I didn't really know what that entailed. To me, it's like an Anderson Cooper going to some random country that I don't know much about. In a lot of ways, it kind of is like that. But it really has sparked a kind of a fire inside me to want to go to different places and want to report on important issues, because I think a lot of these countries are underreported, or their free speech laws aren't very robust over there. So being able to kind of represent those people in those countries here in the United States, I think is really important. So that was kind of something I got to experience in Kazakhstan. So I would love to do more of that.
No, awesome. And for those who might not know, this class takes place all semester.
Mhm.
So you can you talk a bit about the preparation process to go to Kazakhstan and like kind of what the afterward, like what you'll be doing for the rest of the semester will look like?
Yeah, so honestly, I knew nothing going into it. I got an email about it, and so I went to the interest meeting, and I learned about the program, which this year was going to Kazakhstan, and other years ago, it's different places. They went to Istanbul, they went to Estonia, so they go to different cool places. And I heard a chance to go to Kazakhstan, a country I probably was never going to get to go to again, and so I kind of jumped at it. And then so to get there, there's an interview process, and then once you get accepted, you you have to apply just like any other class, and then we meet 2 times a week in Willard at 9 a.m. So obviously get up, but you're getting up for something that's really cool. You're getting up early to go to a country that you never thought you'd get to go to. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, so we spend the semester kind of brainstorming ideas. Once we kind of get an idea for a story, we meet on Zoom with our fixer. So we had someone over there helping us kind of develop our stories, reaching out to contacts to interview. So that was like the big thing that we were doing, was just preparing our interviews, preparing our stories, so that when you're over there, you just conduct interviews and you already know everything. You're well researched. So yeah, that's the main process. So now we got our interviews, we're back, and now the next thing will be actually developing our stories. So we conducted our interviews. We're going to make our transcripts from those interviews and then start to write and have it go through rounds of editing. So that's the rest of the semester. Will be really honing in that big story.
Awesome. And earlier we were talking about like what some of the stories might be about. Can you give us like a small glimpse of maybe what you're working on, or a cool story that you've heard one of your classmates working on?
Yeah, so I'm talking about higher education in Kazakhstan. So for those who don't know, Kazakhstan became an independent country when the Soviet Union fell in 1991. So in a lot of ways, the country is still very, very new. And one of the first things that they did as a country was develop higher education. They thought if we could get people educated, that will, help with the economy and help in other sectors. So the biggest thing was higher education. And to do that, they fostered a lot of international cooperation. I believe that there is more students per capita that leave Kazakhstan to go to other countries for education than any other country in the world. So it really has geopolitical implications, higher education. So that was something that I thought was really interesting about this country specifically. And so higher education kind of represents this bigger issue over there. So that's what I chose to focus on. But I mean, there's some other really cool stories. One of our students is doing a story on the different kind of sports over there. One of them is a sport called Coke Bar, which is like polo, except they use a dead goat carcass. Sounds crazy to us Americans, but I'm sure like over there, it's kind of cool and normal. It's something that kind of started with Genghis Khan. So we're going back centuries now. So it's cool that they kind of keep that tradition alive. So I'm excited to read that story.
No, that's awesome. I'm excited to like learn more about Kazakhstan. I feel like I don't hear as much about it in the news and like their culture. So definitely looking forward to that special Center County report. And I guess like based on what you learned while you were abroad and like these stories that will be coming out, what do you hope people take away from this special report?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, what I want people to understand is it's more about Kazakhstan specifically. It's more about the people over there. In the United States, we're honestly we don't do a very good job of understanding other cultures and actually going over there and getting to interact with people, people who come from all sorts of different backgrounds. One thing that's really cool about Kazakhstan is there's so many different ethnic groups that kind of get along in harmony over there. And I think that's super, super cool. And just because it's far away from here, just because it's 6,000 miles away from here, doesn't mean Kazakhstan is much different from the United States. It honestly really isn't. We had to make TikTok videos for our class, and I made mine about the fact that I wasn't experiencing culture shock. Not that it's a myth, it is. You know, it is a thing, but I mean, I wasn't experiencing culture shock personally because I think countries are so similar to each other, and we need to recognize our differences, but also our similarities. So that's the biggest thing. Just because no one's heard of Kazakhstan over here doesn't mean it's not a big country. It's one of the largest countries in the world by area. So I think everyone should try to get there at least once in their life. The mountains there in Almaty are beautiful. So yeah, it's an unbelievable place to travel. But what I want people to take away is the fact that just because it's a different country, it's a country that most people haven't been to, doesn't mean that it's not similar to the United States or to Canada or to Great Britain or whatever country.
Okay, awesome. And I guess if you have one quick piece of advice for anybody looking to take an international reporting class, what would it be?
Do your research. That'd be my biggest thing. When you go over there, you don't want to you want to know what you're talking about, right? You don't want to go in there and talk to people and say the wrong things or insult them. You really want to know your topic that you're reporting on. So for me, it was higher education. And then you want to know the culture. You want to be respectful to the culture, but also kind of provide your own unique experience. Like I'm an American, they know that, but I can also respect their culture. And I want to just quick shout out to our professors and our advisors who have helped us along with that process and really helped us with our stories and help with that kind of cultural experience. So Professor O'Toole, Professor Krasak, Professor Sanina, Professor Pasha, and then advisor Del Schwab. I want to thank all of them because they really helped us with that cultural immersion process and with our stories. So if it wasn't for them, this wouldn't be possible. So they really were the ones who made our group of 9 people, 9 students. The 5 of them really made it go around and helped us with that immersion. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and advice to other students. I would also highly recommend to other students to take the opportunity to go abroad as well. Now stick around because coming up next, Emma and Anneke will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics? 3, 2. Fade in on 2. Mike and Q.
This isn't me talk.
Like us doing these shows I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you say
I know.
she like continues to hold her values and everything though, and I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart,
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts
creators
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
The Department of Education is knee-deep in thousands of civil rights cases following the 1,300 layoffs made by the Trump administration last week. With fewer than 300 workers in the department's Office for Civil Rights, staffers say there is no way to pick up their fired colleagues' cases, much less on top of their own. Many of these cases involve families trying to get services for students with disabilities, allegations of race and religious bias, and complaints over sexual violence. It is likely that these families will be waiting on a resolution for years.
Columbia University graduate student Mahmoud Khalil will continue being detained in Louisiana while he and his lawyers fight the Trump administration's plans to deport him for his role in campus protests against Israel, a judge decided in a hearing last Wednesday. The hearing drew in hundreds of demonstrators to the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan to protest the arrest of Khalil, a permanent U.S. resident who is married to an American citizen. Khalil was not brought to the hearing from the Immigration Detention Center in Louisiana, where he is currently being held.
2 more people have been arrested in connection with the death of Caleb Wilson, a Southern University student who's repeatedly punched in a fraternity hazing ritual. Kyle Thurman and Isaiah Smith face charges of felony criminal hazing, while Caleb McCrae, arrested last week, faces charges of criminal hazing and manslaughter. A group brought Wilson to the hospital, initially telling staff that he collapsed while playing basketball. Baton Rouge Police Department Chief Thomas Morse Jr. said Wilson died as a direct result of the hazing.
Mount Spur, a volcano near Anchorage, Alaska, has been showing signs of unrest, leading experts to say the likelihood of eruption in the next few weeks or months has increased. The Alaska Volcano Observatory said last Wednesday that it measured significantly elevated volcanic gas emissions during recent overflights, signs that eruption was likely but not certain. Last October, the observatory raised its alert status for Mount Spur from green to yellow after increased seismic activity, and a ground deformation was spotted in satellite data. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.